record button whenever we have something interesting to say. It could probably help you out with editing, I would think.
Hello and welcome to the Trombertcast. This is episode 4. Jake was talking about something. Yes.
It's Cold War history time with our guest, Seth.
I'm the
Seth,
guest.
what happened to the USSR?
They got really cold and hungry and angry.
Why did they do that? What caused these events to transpire?
Communism, of course.
Can you go into a little bit more depth than that?
So, communism as a system, on paper it sounds great, everyone gets, equal of everything. It's like, oh, I get 5 loaves of bread, you get 5 loaves of bread. Everybody gets 5 loaves of bread. We all get a dog and a cat. We all get our fair share of supplies, and everyone is so happy-go-lucky. But in reality, you get 1 slice of bread for your whole fucking family. And you have to eat the dog and you have to eat the cat because you don't have enough food to feed your family. And there are higher up officials who, they do get 5 loaves of bread. Why don't we get 5 loaves of bread? Oh, it's because you're lower class, even though supposedly everyone is equal. But yeah, they serve in the military, and yeah.
Who created communism?
That would be a man named Karl Jacob Marx.
Excellent. That's 1 correct star.
How many stars until I become a 5-star general?
I think you answered that question yourself.
This is true. Probably 7, actually.
What was the Berlin Wall?
The Berlin Wall was a wall made out of foobar and concrete, and it divided West Germany and East Germany. And one side.
Why were they divided?
Because one side was Russian land, or Russian-controlled land, and the other side was the other side controlled land.
I thought Germany was a whole country. Why was it split?
Because they really took a page from the United States history book and decided, you know what, let's turn into 2 countries now, because I think that would be really funny, and one side had slaves and the other did not.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you hate America?
I love to hate America.
I love Walmart. I mean America.
Walmart is great. Have you ever just seen someone in a mobility scooter just driving around in reverse, and then they
shitting themselves?
They put the mobility scooter in reverse, and then they'll just leave it in the middle of the aisle. They just walk away, leave their mobility scooter there, and it's just beeping, beeping, beeping. It's just there's just a mobility scooter there now. No one in it. It's just beeping, beeping. That's America, right there.
Their pants are dripping shit as they walk away. The seat of it is completely covered.
Yes.
Put in marked.
It's brown with a little bit of red and some yellow in there.
They went to Brown Town, all right.
Brown Town, the town of the Browns.
Thank God we don't have communism.
Thank God.
God bless. God bless.
God
Amen.
bless this capitalist.
Amen.
nation.
God damn it. Amen.
Amen.
Right.
God bless America.
That's a good starting segment.
That was a good segment that we started on.
Did you stop recording?
No. Do you want me to?
Well, that's what I meant, was we could just record it in segments.
Well, this is in the podcast as well, because I think it's funny.
Why do you have to be difficult?
Okay, fine. I'll pause it. God.
Let's start polluting shit with N-words.
Hey, viewers! I'm pausing the podcast now. All right, let's start. Welcome to the Trombertcast, episode 4. This is the 4th episode of Trombertcast, the cast that is Trombert, was Trombert, and will always be Trombert.
We already did this.
We did already do this. This is a different segment. If I figure out how to put the segments together, then this will be redundant, and the
They're going to
viewers,
get introduced to episode 4 twice.
they'll be confused, but it's fine. It's worth it. So, The Land, that was...
Dude, we're going to end up with like 3 intros to this thing.
3 intros. That's going to be great. I love 3 intros.
All right,
Anyways, The Land. The Land was... It was beautiful. It was a place we could go, we could hang out in. Let's start from the beginning. One day, me and Jake, we were kids. Jake comes over to my house, and, we're just like, hey, there's some woods behind the house, behind the fence in the backyard. Well, if we just go exploring in there? And so, that's what we did. Me, Jake, and then our brothers, Trevor and Ben, we went exploring. We went into the woods behind my house. We had to hop the fence behind your house too, and we were already masters of hopping fences because we would just hop fences to go between each other's houses. This is true. We would just run through people's backyards like complete fucking idiots. Later on, we would just start walking through people's front yards because they didn't care either. But yeah, backyards. We went through backyards because we thought we were being sneaky. That wasn't very sneaky. I'm pretty sure some of the people probably got pissed at some points, but I didn't really think about it. I don't think anybody got pissed. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever really knew we did that. But we kind of stopped because we thought people might think they knew we did it. Because to get to your house, you had... there was like 3 houses between our houses. You had Yvonne... No, you had Mr. Robin, who was our immediate neighbor. Yeah. You had Yvonne and her husband. And then Miss Dot. And then Miss Dot was your immediate neighbor. That was it. Or Miss Roberts, as I called her. Why did we call her Miss Dot? I don't know why you called her Miss Dot. I think that's. I thought that was her name. That's probably her first name, but I call her Miss Roberts because that was her last name. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's what I always knew her as, Miss Roberts. And I'd go to her house, and I'd watch her cable TV because I didn't have cable TV, and she always had Cokes in the fridge, and she let us watch. Just go into her room and watch TV at her house. Our family always knew her as Mrs. Dodd. And actually, isn't that how our families actually got introduced to each other? No, I think... Through Mrs. Dodd? I think my mom saw that your mom was holding a yard sale. And then she went over there. No. I swear to God, I thought our families met because Mrs. Dodd was like had Alzheimer's or something, but was never put in a nursing home, and she went driving, and your mom got involved in saying that she was missing and needed to be recovered, and it became kind of like a little neighborhood thing with all the immediate neighbors and whatnot in that area. I swear to God, I thought that's how our families met, and then my mom to your mom, and they were talking, and then your mom was like, "Yeah, I'll send Seth or whoever over there the next day," and then you came over. And I immediately had to show you. I have a laptop. It was a very shitty 14-inch, or not even 14 inches. What was it, like 10 inches or something? It was a netbook. An Acer netbook, and I showed you Ghost Hunters. And also the kids' version on it. That Pirates of the Caribbean game you played as well. I love that game. Rip the servers. They are no longer online, I think. I don't know. Probably. It's been a long time. Yeah, they've been offline for a long time. So, The Land. So we just hop the fence, go into the woods, and then we find this branch that's like made in an arch. And we called it the Arch of Awesomeness. Or something like that. It was a stupid name. We were kids. And then we had to go through that arch to get into the woods. That's what they were at the time. They were called the Woods. Eventually, they would become the First Woods, which is a subsection of the Land. So, the First Woods, we went in there, we started exploring. That wasn't a fucking word. We started exploring, and we found this big tree that was just a log that was laying on the ground, and we called it the bench of Beatrudes or something like that. I don't know. You came up with the name, Jake, of that.
That's funny because I don't remember any of this shit.
I didn't know what you called it, but it was some kind of bench of, I don't know, bench of bitches now. That's what I'm going to call it, the bench of bitches. And it was a log that we could sit on. And then, like, we were like, wow, this is really cool. Wow, I can't believe we found all this stuff back here. This is amazing. It's like our own natural playground. And then we went and we did other stuff out of the woods back at our houses.
We didn't use terminology like that, though. We didn't go, wow, this is our own natural playground.
Well, we were all thinking it. We were all thinking it. You know this. You know this to be true. We were all thinking it. You know it. So, yeah.
I just remember we constantly found, like, trash and shit back in there. There was that one messed up wheelbarrow that was, like, all bent up and shot at by people practicing shooting, and it looked really cool.
Wasn't that in the second woods?
No, it was across the road from... So you went back through the lot behind your house, and you came out on that gravel road that continued off the
after the
neighborhood
first
from the other side.
Then you go through the second woods.
Well, it was on the other side of the road there. It was like up in the trees a little bit off from that path.
All right, you're jumping a little bit into the future. Let's continue on with the next time we went into the woods. We decided to go deeper into the woods this time. So we went deeper into the woods, and we come across a dirt road. And this dirt road was like expansive across the left and the right. We were like, oh my gosh, what have we discovered? We found some kind of secret road. And then there were some kids on their bikes, some older kids. And they called out to us, "We see you." And then we were like, oh shit, we need to run. We need to get out of here. So then we ran back to the houses, stealthily running away so that they couldn't see us anymore. It was very scary. Do you remember that, Jake?
Very vaguely.
Yeah, it was funny. And then eventually we decided to actually go onto that dirt road. That was a trail. And we were like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is a nice area right here. And then we just walked the trail for a while. And then the dirt road turned into a gravel road. And we're like, we've been walking for a long time. Let's turn around now. This is enough exploring for now. That was probably me saying that because I was a little bitch. And was like, I don't know, guys. We're going kind of far. I was like, when in Rugrats, how Chucky's always like, I don't know, guys. This is kind of sus, bro. That was me. I was the Chucky of the group.
Yeah, but we balance each other out because I'm also dumb enough to charge blindly into situations and then not have anything good come out of them.
This is true.
Like the moment when I was like, let's go explore the bridge at night.
And then we did that.
That was a bad decision. I got out and I took a few steps and was like, you know what, that's a bad idea. Let's go home. Let's come back when it's daylight.
Yeah, and then we came back into daylight. And, we talked about this in the previous episode that we almost got fucking mugged.
We almost got mugged in daylight. Imagine what would have happened to us if we went nighttime like I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. So, later on, there was another entrance to the land that we discovered on a side road. We didn't know it was the same trail, though. We just walked into it. It was this grassy dirt road, and we walked along it, and then we found this fork in the road that led to the left and forward. And we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then we turned back. It was pretty interesting stuff right there. The land is a vast area. I don't know if I'm doing a good job of explaining, but I'm trying my damnedest. Okay.
I like it so far.
And then we go again, and eventually we go on the first forked path to the left. It's a dirt path, and then that dirt path leads into a gravel path, and then another dirt path, Well, it's the same path, but it turns from dirt to gravel to dirt again. And then we were like, wait a minute. We've been here before. It's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we realized how vast this place was. It's a vast, expansive connection of roads and secret tunnels. There are no secret tunnels. I don't know why I said that, but it's amazing. It was amazing. We found this.
I mean, this
land.
There is that one homeless camp that one time.
We'll get to the homeless camp, but we found this land, and we needed a place to call this land. This land of exploration and adventure. This land. The land. The land.
I still can't believe.
We'll call it the land.
I still can't believe that Coldwater Creek is developed now.
Oh my God, yeah, it's crazy. Man.
Remember that was like 5 houses.
Yeah, we go there and there were just these empty roads. We'll get there. So, eventually, across, when you go through my backyard, hop the fence, go through the woods, get to the trail, that's like where the trail starts, from the left side to the right, going rightward is going into the land. So,
quick interrupt. It'd probably help if you had Google Maps pulled up with satellite on while you're explaining all this.
That would be great, but the current setup I have doesn't allow for me to show my computer screen. Let me see if I...
We don't have to show it, just to keep a frame of reference in your mind, because I'm not following anything you're saying.
Actually, maybe I don't know. Google Maps would kind of dox me, so I can't show it. No. If only I had a diagram.
It's somewhere where you lived.
I could draw a diagram and then show it on the video. Let me see.
That's cool.
Let me pull up paint.net.
You'll have to censor Coldwater Creek.
No, I'm not censoring anything. I'm just drawing a diagram on the computer.
I know, but you'll have to censor me mentioning Coldwater Creek if you don't want to get doxxed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I don't.
I think you're more in every.
So it doesn't matter.
Then why are you worried about getting doxxed?
I don't know.
I think you're more drunk than I am.
All right, let me switch OBS so that we can show this screen here.
That's what I'm.
Oh God.
That's what I'm of the opinion of. Where it's like, I don't care. I haven't lived there for years.
What the
Who cares? As long as you don't point out exactly what house you lived in, you should be fine.
There we go. That's better. Okay. Let's see here. How do I? Okay. This is good. I've got it set up. So this is my house. Backyard here. Jake, if only you could see my screen. If only you
Don't worry, I have it pulled up on my screen too.
You can't see what I'm drawing.
I have Google Maps pulled up.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's where that works. And there's the woods, the first woods. And then this is the house. That's the house behind my house. Okay. And then yeah, these are the woods right here. And then this is woods. Trail. This is the trail. The trail is brown. It's kind of brown. It's more of a puke yellow color, but And then the second woods is here. And there's a trail right here that we discovered. This is where the wheelchair was. It's like right over in this area. That looks like a wheelchair. That does not look like a wheelchair. That looks like really big feet and a pair of pants. But yeah, this is, when we go to the diarrhea brown again, this is the trail that we discovered. I think Trevor and Ben discovered the trail first into the second woods. And then eventually they told us about it and we went on that trail. So yeah, that's there's that. So now
You
that
have an excellent memory.
now that you have a diagram of this, I can switch off of it. So we found that trail there. We decided to go into it. And it was great. It was fun. We go to the trail so far that the trail kind of ends and it turns into just these flags that are tied to trees. These pink flags. So we follow these pink flags. We're like, oh, this must have been from some kind of scavenger hunt. Which, no, probably not. Probably just marking to make a trail or something. But
Logging,
yeah. So we follow these pink markers, and eventually we get to... We didn't find Coldwater Creek the first time. So the first time we go exploring and we get to the end of the trail and we're like, wow, this is really cool. At one point, we found like some kind of deer stand, just hanging out in the woods, abandoned shitty deer stand. We're like, oh, deer stand, yeah. And we turn around, we go back home. And we go exploring in there again. And yeah, then we follow the markers. And eventually we come out the other side. We come out the other side. Which the other side...
There was the whole trail... Listen, there was the whole trail that came off of Gloria that went north, and then it hooked right, and then it went into the creek. Do you remember the creek? Not the Ison Branch, not Potato Creek. I'm talking about, it's more like the drainage ditch. We thought that was a creek at first. And the trail actually went through that, like you could drive through with a vehicle. And then it went to the other one, and the other one was the one that connected to Wesley and also Sunset Circle, okay?
Yeah.
You can censor these names afterwards. But that trail was the one that then kept going north as well, and then took a hard left and headed towards the other end of Coldwater Creek because it kept going and going and going. Yeah. That one was the one that turned into gravel. We remember, and it had all those potholes and mud holes in it from water and shit. Remember?
No. The one that was, the one on Gloria. The one.
No.
What are you saying? No, we haven't got to that part yet. We haven't got to that part yet. Gloria was the road behind Wesley. That was where...
I'm going to share my screen, okay? Okay, because I do have a memory about certain aspects of this, and this is one thing I remember, okay? You don't have to record my screen, but we're going to straighten this out. You can edit this out of the podcast, okay? Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay. This is where Gloria is, okay? This is what ran immediately behind your house.
Yeah, that's...
It kept going. Yep. It kept going.
And to the right...
kept going.
To the right is the first woods.
And then it came here, and there was that trail. That's the one that went to Sunset Circle. That's the one that went to Wesley, was back behind there, okay? But there was this one over here that it's somewhere, it looks like it's kind of disappeared since then, but, or no, okay, so maybe it didn't back up to, maybe it didn't go to Coldwater Creek, but
no, you see that line right there? That is the trail.
Where?
The line.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's where that one went, okay? And that's the one with all the gravel and the mud holes in it,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because now that comes up to right here with the drainage ditch.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking of. I thought that one ended up like right here for some reason. No. There is that extra road that I remember because there's that drainage street there. That Ben and Trevor played around a lot in this one. So. Anyways,
I don't think we ever went to there, actually.
Ben and Trevor did. Remember, they were playing around in it. We were like, "What are you guys doing?" And then they came back. Remember that one time?
Yeah.
While we were coming through here because we were going to Rose's for candy and shit.
Can I pop this out?
We saw.
Pop this out. See if that does anything. Can I OBS to that? I don't think I can. No.
That's where Ben and Trevor were like in the bottom of the ditch. We were like, "What are you guys doing?" Remember?
Yeah.
I do remember that. I don't remember like all the shit that you're bringing up, but I do remember that. So, anyways, sorry. OCD correction over.
Whoa. Oh, that was insanity. I'm lost now. I'm completely fucking lost. So,
I'm not trying to shit all over what you're saying because you have a very good memory about this arch and the bench and shit. That's stuff that I don't remember at all. But as far as the geographical locations and stuff, I have a very good memory about that.
yeah. But no, this is, I wish I could show you this fucking thing. I can show you, actually. Yes, I can. I could just, copy it and send it to you on Discord. Yeah, I can do that. This is the diagram I drew.
Okay.
So you see that diagram?
Seth, you've had more alcohol than I think you're aware of.
I haven't had that much alcohol. Okay,
You
I was drawing this with a laptop trackpad. Okay. So you see the first woods there? That's the scribbles. See my house with the lines around it? That's the fence.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull this up on here so you can actually see it. Okay. So you see the brown? That's the trail that leads from Gloria to the left.
Yeah.
You see that trail that goes up?
Yeah.
That's the trail into the second woods that we went on. That we followed that trail, and we eventually.
That's the footpath.
Yes, the footpath, the trail footpath, that eventually turned into the ribbons, that we eventually come up on the drainage ditch area.
Yep, that's accurate.
And yeah, that's
yeah. Those footpaths were crazy. They went everywhere.
Yeah,
they even had the one that went all the way up to Maddox. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a lot of shit. Fun exploring. When you're a kid and you just have this huge fucking area to explore, it's amazing.
Yeah. We were technically trespassers, but
technically, yeah,
who cares?
We were trespassers technically, but kid's gonna kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, kid's gonna kid.
Anyways, keep going with your story. Go through the whole history of the land.
So we found the drainage water ditch area, which, well, the drainage water ditch was like to the right of us. At the point where we were like kind of on the road. We were like, oh my gosh, we found an abandoned road. There were no houses on the roads or anything. It was just undeveloped land with just roads. And
we felt like we were exploring in like The Walking Dead or something. The feeling of it, you know.
Even though The Walking Dead hadn't been a TV show yet. But then we're like, this is really crazy. And like we decided we would explore that at a later time because we had already come so far. We needed to head back.
It was a very long walk.
It was a long walk especially for kids. We eventually went back. And it was crazy. It was awesome. Yeah.
Like, I remember later on when we were starting to enter our preteens, we would walk the long way around by walking up Maddox and then up whatever the other street was there, and then we would go to Rose's there, and then we'd walk the same way back. And we didn't kill ourselves doing that, but just walking directly through the forest up to Coldwater Creek felt like forever because of our tiny little legs.
Yeah. You know what? I don't care about censoring any of the names of these roads or anything because I don't live in that area anymore. It doesn't matter. I don't care. They can't track me down. You don't know where I live. I live in outer space, baby.
Just don't say, I lived on 106 Dawson Drive. Don't say that.
I lived on I didn't live on 106 Dawson Drive. Was it Dawson Drive or was it Dawson Road?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, so, yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Jake.
Yeah, it was Dawson Drive.
It was Drive? Oh, okay.
And then there was Rainbow Circle.
There's your clues.
Gloria Street, Rainbow Circle, Wesley Drive.
Yeah.
Sunset Circle. So. Rainbow Circle had a really crazy hill on it.
Oh, yeah, it did. Oh, Wesley Drive had a big hill on it. That was steep as shit. I could barely ride my bike down it.
You could never play with it because there's too much fucking cross traffic coming along that we're treating it like a cut through.
Yeah, they really used it as a through road.
I know that was what my mom was a total Karen back in the day about that shit.
Oh yeah, she fucking stood outside with the Hot Wheels speed gun.
Yep. And then in the future, like, she was the one who got the whole signs put up underneath the speed limit sign.
Fines increased.
Something like that. Yeah, fines higher. I've seen it on Google Maps.
She made it more expensive to speed on my road. Ain't that some shit?
But that doesn't matter because they never fucking did anything anyways.
Yeah. I mean, like,
they never once sat and farmed. So.
When they first installed those signs, they did put those machines that show you your speed.
Yeah. That lasted about a month.
Yeah, and then they took it down. I remember we were riding our scooters up and down the road trying to get our speeds checked. It never worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was unfortunate. That'd be cool if it could measure the speed of a scooter.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, I'm going 15 miles an hour. That's amazing.
No, you were only doing 10.
You're a liar. I was going 15.
Try to use your hands to block the screen.
I was going 15. You can see it here.
Anyways, keep going through the land. Remember, like, the creek, the actual creek?
Yeah, let's...
And then the aliens and the homeless camp and...
Let's get to the forward path at the fork. So, you know, there's the left path that leads to all that shit that goes the dirt road. And then if you continue forward on the grass path, eventually you come to another forked pathway that goes left and right. And there's also like a sewage entrance in the middle of the fork.
Manhole cover.
Yeah, manhole cover sewage place entrance area thingy. If you go to the right, there's this big drop off that goes down into a creek, and then over across the top of the creek into the dairy, which is what the neighborhood is called. It's like some kind of gated community. There's some pipes that you can walk across, some sewage pipes you can walk across to get over there above the creek. Or you can just go down to the creek and walk across on some rocks and then get over there. So let's start out with this creek area. I think this was actually Coldwater Creek. I'm not sure. Or it was a runoff of Potato Creek. I'm not sure.
Well, the actual creek name is Potato Creek. It's part of the Ison Branch.
Uh-huh.
But that's the name of what Coldwater Creek is based off of, because it's just a generic Coldwater Creek. Because
the water is cold at this creek.
And it's a better name than Potato Creek neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, we started walking along this creek, and we find this huge rock. I feel like we talked about this already.
Graybird Rock.
Graybird Rock. You came up with the name. And we just hang out there all the time. It was awesome. Good times were had there. So
almost fell off of it.
Yes, I've jumped off it a few times. And so going back before the fork, or the second fork, if you go to the right, there's some woods interspersed between this big open field and the actual path you go on to get to the creek. And if you walk on the edge of this field and the woods, you eventually come up on a bunch of abandoned tents, which I'm guessing at some point was a homeless camp, where my neighbor Charlie, the meth head, probably lived at some point. And if you just keep going across there, you go through the woods a little bit, and then you come across Graybird Rock. It was like a little shortcut, a secret shortcut. It was neat. So going back to the second fork, instead of going right towards the creek, you take a left. And this goes on for a really, really far, long way. Eventually, you come across the place where we ended up in the first time when we went across the footpath, way on the other side of the land. And,
you know that the building that used to be, you know how there's like the big concrete pad next to Rose's?
Yeah. The one that got destroyed by a plane?
Yeah, the plane fell into it, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Anyways.
I had a friend named Simon. He was into the geocache thing.
Yeah.
And there was like a geocache around there, and he told me the history of that building.
Cool.
He's Jewish. His last name is. I should probably censor that. I probably shouldn't dox this man that I haven't talked to in like 10 years.
Yeah. All right. I got distracted. That's all I had.
Yeah. So, yeah, the land. We had lots of adventures there. It was fun. Lots of fun. Who were those girls that lived on Gloria Road?
Were those the kids that yelled at us?
No, they were different kids. I don't
remember. I mean, I remember, but I vaguely remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember them as well. I think they were homeschooled or went to a different school than us.
Something.
But, yeah. The Land. What a great name. The Land. We're 30.
The Land.
We've been talking about The Land for 30 minutes.
We've been talking about The Land for 4 episodes. So.
This is true. We've mentioned it in at least all of them.
It's very influential in our upbringing and essence of our characters.
Kids these days don't have the kind of exploration that we had.
Kids these days don't have the land. It'll never be the same.
Never. Ever be the same. We were the last generation that went outside and played. Like,
you know what's the funniest thing? You go on Google Maps and you look at Gloria Street, and they have that stupid little protective, like, no trespassing road blocker thing that swings open.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that thing, A, ever being there, and even if it was there, B, ever being closed.
No, I remember it. I remember when it got put in there. It was when they repaved Gloria. They repaved the road of Gloria.
Because you go to 2008 and it's not even there, which is how I remember it.
Yeah. They didn't have that there. They just had some kind of generic, like a little rope thing that blocked off the road.
I don't even remember that.
I think. I don't remember. I think my memory could be failing me. You know memories. Us humans were unreliable narrators. Sometimes.
Like man, they got a whole fancy swing arm with a padlock on it, and they've got that little wire fence off to the side. Wow. They're really trying to protect a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah. Man, the land was awesome. Such a great place.
It was.
I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point, just saying how awesome the land was.
I can't begin to imagine what the people living on Sunset Circle would constantly think of us watching us walk into abandoned land and then walk back in front of their house. I'm glad they never called the cops or anything.
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, I remember one time I went over there by myself, and there was this truck driving around in there, in the field.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, I better crouch down and get out of here. I felt like I was in Metal Gear Solid.
How old were you?
I was like 14 or 15.
Oh wow, that might have been after I left. After I moved out.
Yeah, it was after you left.
Okay, yeah, so you're probably like 15.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get shot. Which, I don't think seeing some kid in this... that was irrational thinking. I don't think some guy in a truck would just shoot some kid trespassing on this land. He'd probably yell at him to get out of here.
You'd get arrested or something, and they'd be like, don't do that again. It's just a whole bunch of hassle that you could avoid.
Don't you do it again, Sonny.
Can we both agree on something that's really gay?
What is it?
The Dairy Lane neighborhood. That's really gay.
Yeah. Fucking the Dairy. It was called the Dairy. Like, how pompous can you fucking be? The Dairy.
The whole neighborhood is gated off and everything, and it's just built in the middle of, like, nowhere.
And they've got a cow on their front sign.
Ooh, mommy milkers.
I can almost guarantee that every road in the Dairy is dairy themed. Like, there's probably like Cheese Avenue or like Mommy Milker's Lane or some shit.
It's all Buttermilk Lane from what Google says. There's Dairy Lane, which is the entrance road, and then everything else is Buttermilk Lane.
Damn, they should rename something to Mommy Milker's Lane. I would totally live on Mommy Milker's Lane.
I remember when we were in Potato Creek and you could hop on the other side of it and then walk up and you could see the giant grass and the back of people's houses and shit.
Yes. Oh my god. I remember me and someone, I think it was Anthony, we went into the land with some firecrackers. And we were like, you know what, let's set these off. I don't remember if it was Anthony. It might have been someone else. I don't remember who the fuck it was.
Whatever happened to Anthony, by the way?
I think he moved. He just moved, and I just lost contact with him.
I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
I was about to say that. I'm not friends with him on Facebook. I'm also friends with him on PlayStation as well. I played some Dark Souls 3 with him one time.
Anthony is the epitome of someone where you think of him like probably once every few years, and you go, "What the fuck happened to him?"
Yeah, what's he doing now?
Where is he at?
Where the hell is he? Where did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Anthony?
I'm going to censor the last name.
That's fine.
So, yeah. We set off some firecrackers there and then we ran. Like in the dairy area. You know, like where the land leads into the dairy past the creek. We just threw some firecrackers over there and then we ran off.
We had a very 1950s style upbringing in terms of the freedom and shit that we got away with.
Yeah, we did get away with a lot of shit, except for I remember one time my dad was, back in the day, you know, I grew up poor. My dad was a notorious internet pirate.
I feel like everyone now has like a Ring doorbell and 50 million fucking cameras on their household that'll catch you doing shit from 500 miles away, and they've got fucking spy drones that cops will send out and try to find you if you get reported in the area. It's like a whole bunch of bullshit, you know?
Yes.
Like, we got away with far too much trespassing.
We really did. We just went wherever the hell we wanted.
It's because it's fucking land. It's owned by some bank in Wisconsin or some stupid shit. They didn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. It's like, you know, you own a house and there's some ants in your yard. It's kind of like that.
People saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't be trespassing. That's illegal. It's not your land to be doing it." It's like that's the epitome of a nerd emoji response. All right.
Yeah, that is 100% nerd emoji response right there. 1000%. Let me drink some more alcohol because I'm not drunk enough.
Pause the podcast. You should probably pause it.
Remember what happened last time I paused? It stopped the recording and I couldn't play it again, so I'm just going to keep rolling. I'm going to take a drink.
Like, did you lose the entire thing, or?
No, I still have the video file. It's just separate now. It's not the same video file, so it's going to be annoying for me to edit.
All right, well, that's everything I have to say about the land, pretty much. I feel like out of everything we've talked about in the past, plus this episode, that's good, you know?
Yeah, I think our 5 podcast listeners have a good idea of what the land is now, kind of.
5? Holy shit, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's me, you.
Well, we can't count ourselves. We're the one recording it.
Yeah,
the only ones that I know for sure of.
We're drunk, though. Our sober selves are not our drunk selves.
I don't care. Nick and Jess and Nervousil are the only ones that I know of that on my side. David. Does David really listen to it?
Yeah, he was asking me about the podcast, and I'm like, oh yeah, I recorded episode 3. I forgot to link it here. He's like, you motherfucker.
We gotta have him on the episode sometime. We do. The podcast.
We were talking about this in like episode 3, weren't we? Even
a great
episode 2.
Ball rolling with us doing it every weekend, and then you were like, I don't want to do it anymore.
I don't feel like No, it was like I needed to edit it, and I was like, I don't feel like it because I'm a fucking lazy fuck. I was going through some shit, okay? And Jake,
I understand.
Don't say that word. I've got to censor it now. Like,
okay.
episode 3, I didn't have to censor a single thing. It was great.
Yeah, well, it's a new year, new Jake.
New year.
I vowed to use the N-word.
That's a terrible New Year's resolution right there, Jake.
Well, in the words of Rich Evans, if things stay the same, that's fine. That's great. That's fantastic. But the only time things change is for the worse.
Change.
So if they stay the same, they're fine.
Into a truck, Optimus Prime. I know. I'm a genius. Oh man, I just realized something.
What?
I don't have my acoustic guitar with me. It's in the other room. So if I want to do the outro, fuck it. I can do the outro music in post.
Are you already doing the outro? We're not done yet, are we?
I'm just saying it out loud because it's a good little lick, you know, good little guitar lick.
We're two wasted guys arguing with each other about when to do the outro and shit.
I'm hardly wasted. I'm tipsy at best.
No, you are more gone than you think you are.
No. If I wish I had more alcohol. This is the last drink I had. Oh, there's some margarita mix in the fridge. I could just.
Seth,
have you ever just drank straight up margarita mix? Is that a thing you can do?
I've never heard of it.
You never heard of margarita mix?
I mean, I've heard of it. I have no idea what it's used for.
You mix it in margaritas.
I have no idea. Yeah, but is it the alcoholic part or is it the taste part?
Both. Depending on the kind of mix you have. The kind that's in the fridge is alcoholic.
Either. Anyways, listen.
I'm listening. You told me to listen and you just didn't say anything.
I forgot!
Maybe you don't forget. Oh, I forgore skull emoji. That's you right now.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, okay? That's what I was talking about. I was the one that had, like, 2 Jack and Cokes while you had half of one and were, like, really drunk.
Well, yeah, that was
down here.
Those were my baby infancy years.
You were. Don't even lie. You're still a total lightweight.
I mean,
you're not packing 300 pounds like I am. So
I just don't drink. I don't drink that often. That's the only thing about it. You know, I keep my.
You're not an alcoholic like me.
Yeah, no, not like you. What I am is, I am a slut, as my shirt says.
Destructive.
I am
destructive. Oh shit. Destructive.
How destructive are you, though?
How come? What else can we talk about? We can talk about Do you have anything you'd like to say about The Walking Dead since we talked about finding abandoned stuff and wandering around in the land and whatnot?
I read up. The TV show, it's not a good. It's all right, I guess. I couldn't get past season 2.
Yeah, there's so many people that talk about The Walking Dead like, oh my god, I can't believe The Walking Dead. It's like, I could just replace the show with jingling keys in your face.
They stayed on the farm for way too fucking long. Like, I read the comics, like, all the way up to the people who wore the zombie skin suits. That's how far I read up. I still need to finish that. They finished the comics. I need to finish those, but that's how far I read up to. The comics are great. I love the comics.
I am very pissed off about how the TV show was handled because I thought season 1 was perfect.
Season 1 was great. It followed the first volume perfect to a T. 6 episodes, 6 issues. It was great. And then
it was rough. It was a little low budget, but it was fine. Okay, it was perfect comics, in my opinion.
In the comics, they're on the farm for like 3 issues. In the show, they're on there for 2 fucking seasons. What the fuck?
And then,
seasons of like 14 episodes.
And then in the show, you know, after season 1, Frank Darabont and the rest of the crew were like, hey, we don't work for free. This show exploded. Give us more money. And they're like, nah. So they kicked everyone out except the actors. And then they just went ahead with season 2, and the writing really sucks because of that. Like you said, the farm should have probably been like a 3-episode deal. Instead, it was the entire fucking season plus episodes
like
into season 3.
Next season.
I watched all the way up until just about the episode when the governor attacks the prison. Okay, that's a pretty long ways. The problem is, you know, you're finally glad to see them get away from the farm, but then they get to the prison and it's just the farm too. Okay.
The prison in the comics is actually cool. Because, you know, they don't dwell on the farm for a million years.
Yep.
You know, they stay there.
I'd like to know what Georgia prison is just out in the middle of nowhere, by the way. I remember the prison in Griffin is just on the side of 1941.
Yeah.
It's like a roadside attraction.
Escapees.
If you drive by at the right times, you can see everybody doing yard time.
Oh yeah, playing some basketball out there. Yeah.
You know they got them Air Jordans though.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think they would have Air Jordans. They get those stolen. They get like stolen in their sleep. Someone would chop someone's foot off for an Air Jordan in prison.
You don't know how prison works. You can have nice things in prison if you play your cards right.
I feel like that was more of a correctional facility than an actual prison.
I don't know if it was a jail or if it was a prison. I thought it was a prison, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
If it's a jail, it's a pretty hardcore goddamn jail with the double barbed wire fences and guard towers, though, which is why I assume it's a prison.
I think it's like light prison, I guess you could say.
I think what's funny is I do remember looking around the prison a few months ago, just to see more about it. And there's the prison itself, which I keep calling it the prison, even though I don't know for sure. And then across the road, there's like abandoned buildings. So I went back in Google Maps history timeline to like 2008, 2009, and it used to be like rehabilitation buildings, like get a job, find employment, that kind of thing. I just find it I find it funny that that's completely abandoned and just not a route Georgia seems to care about.
I need to talk about something for a second here that you can't see. So, in Trombertcast, you know, you see you have the me on the left and you on the right, and then you have the Trombertcast logo in quotations underneath. Me, I'm a lot smaller than usual because I'm a little bit further back from the camera because I have a new setup because I live somewhere different now. Let's talk about that.
Your ex-wife is a bitch.
Ex-wife. We never got married.
You were goddamn sure set on having it happen, though.
It didn't happen. We went our separate ways. She wanted to sell the house. I didn't want to sell the house, but refinancing was too expensive. It's like, oh yeah, pay 2 times as much as you're paying now for the same place. For no fucking reason, because fuck you, that's why. And yeah, we sold the house. And now I'm living with my friend Cody. You know, it's pretty funny because this prophecy kind of got foretold in the hidden episode, the lost episode. Spoilers for the lost episode. Yeah, go find it. It's on jakeandseth.com. I don't know if you can find it. Maybe you can. Perhaps. You probably already found it if you're a fan of this Trombertcast here. Okay. Just go find it. Watch secret episode where I talk shit. Jake talks shit. We talk about having David on the podcast. And then we proceed to not have David on the podcast for 2 episodes. Maybe 3. I don't know.
the real prophecy is the argument I had with you at like the start of the year, telling you that your fiance was a bitch.
Oh shit! The dogs are outside, aren't they? Whoops.
Who let the dogs out?
Me. Jake, keep the podcast rolling. Talk about some shit. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna pause it. Just say some
Did you
stuff.
know that the conspiracy theorist term was coined following the JFK assassination, used extensively within the media in order to cut down on theorizing within the media? The term conspiracy theorist is almost entirely manufactured thanks to the CIA and its contacts and controlled opposition within the media. If you do not believe the extent of the control through situations such as Operation Mockingbird, which was proposed and subsequently denied by the U.S. government, saying, oh, well, we didn't approve it, so it didn't go ahead. You can look into what I consider the murder of Gary Webb, who was a very thorough, very good-hearted and kind journalist who exposed the CIA's operation to traffic cocaine and other drugs into the nation in order to sell those drugs and use the funds to fund a revolutionary army that they supported within the South American governments, namely the Contras. So if you remember the Reagan scandal for the Contras selling missiles...
Hey, Contra, wasn't that made by Konami? Isn't that a Konami game, Contra?
Did you even hear anything I was telling you about?
No, I couldn't hear anything. I heard you
I know.
Start about conspiracy theory, wherever that came from, and then my headphones cut out because I was too far away. And I came back and I heard Contra.
You talked about Contra, and you thought that I was talking about the video game.
Well, I didn't think you were talking about the video game, but I thought it would be funny if I mentioned it.
I'm going to die on a stake.
I love steak.
I'm going to get burned.
Why?
I don't know. Would I die by public burning or public stoning? Which is more likely?
Probably just gonna get shot in the head, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's the modern day version of it.
When I move my mic around in my hand, does it make annoying noises?
I haven't heard anything. I don't know how sensitive your recording software is, though.
Yeah, I see, like, the microphone, like, pick up that, so...
Yeah, that's because all modern microphones are built strong enough to detect fucking mouse micro movements all across the room. It can hear insects flying around because they want it to be able to pick up everything. So if they have to spy in on you, there's no chance they'll miss out.
I'm really hoping we don't have another episode 3 situation. Remember when I kept moving the microphone around and could make the noise? Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was annoying. My bad, viewers, listeners. That was I'm retarded a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. You'll live. Just suffer through it like I did. I listen to the podcast. I rewatch my own podcast. Sober Seth is different, you know? He's a different guy. Okay?
Yeah, he stabs himself in the testicles.
Several times with a pin. Do you
I
ever
don't
do
know.
that?
Oh, wait, no, that's something we talked about in the last episode, right? How I originally learned to masturbate.
Did we talk about... I didn't get very far into it. It's been so long.
Yeah, we did. I just remembered that's something that we bring up, because I was going to bring that up now, but we already covered that.
In the lost episode. If you can find it, then you can learn how Jake learned how to masturbate.
Yeah, because I was going to bring up how... I don't know why that would really be relevant, but...
Spoilers.
Stabbing pins in the testicles.
Don't tell anyone. They need to learn in the lost episode. Okay? We can't repeat it here. We can't repeat it.
I'm a member of the podcast, and I couldn't find the lost episode, so...
And then you eventually did find it.
Well, I showed it to my friend, who immediately looked through the website again and found it, and then they were making fun of me for the fact that I couldn't find it.
That's funny.
Until they told me it was... never mind.
You can say it. I'll just bleep it out and it'll be funny.
Until they told me specifically it was...
Yes. Hell yeah. That's what it says.
Yeah, that guy looks so funny when he's saying that in that stock photo.
Why the fuck are my dogs barking? They're being annoying. Shut up, stupid dogs. I'm gonna go beat the shit out of them. Not really. I don't beat my dogs. I'm just gonna give them a treat and tell them to be quiet. All right, Jake. Continue on about conspiracy theories.
I honestly feel that this is the point where this episode should end because we're both very drunk. We don't have anything more to contribute.
Are you sure about that?
Seth is more drunk than he wants to admit. And,
I'm not though. I'm not.
I feel like we've got a good hour of content here. All right, I say let's go for it.
This is a decent hour.
Play the outro music. Grab the guitar and play it.
Do 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 do.
Very shitty guitar. I think it's out of tune.
Yeah, I think it's out of tune. Here, let me try it again. Okay, this is where I actually insert the audio of me playing it. Okay, that's the outro. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again for the 4th episode. See you in episode 5.
I don't care about any of you.